Shalom, everybody. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Yahweh, Alahayam, Ahaya. He is God, self-existing, the sovereign Father of creation, the creator of all things, heaven and earth. I go by the appellation Mayakal Yis-RoyAl. Mayakal Yis-RoyAl. In modern day Hebrew, they'll call it Mikael Yis-RoyAl. This is part 2 to our video. We're continuing on. We're going into the testament or the testimony of ShaMaIWaN, Simeon, which means heard, concerning envy. In our previous video, we have learned about fornication and the difficulties and the challenges that rose up during Reuben's spiritual youth. You see, when he was tempted by fornication and lust and things like that, and the 7 spirits of error. Now we're about to learn about envy and see how, ShaMaIWaN dealt with that. And envy pretty much means to want something that's not yours. You want, what somebody else has. So today is the today is the 8th day of the 9th month, according to our Hebraic solar calendar. You see, today is the 8th day of the 9th month, which is called Kara or Kislu. We have the Feast of Dedication on the 25th of this month, which is also known as Hanukkah in the Feast of Light. They also said it's in December as well, but I have Bible quotes like from the book of Maccabees that states that the Feast of Dedication was it was around in winter time, around on the 25th of the 9th month. But in the Holy Book it says there's a Feast of Dedication on the 25th of the 10th month, you see, which would be around December time, winter time. So if I was y'all, I'd do some deeper research into that. So I hope you guys are ready. Get your pen and pencil, your pad, whatever you need to take note. Take this serious. May the Most High Holy Spirit be with us. By the way, I'm from the tribe of Levi, Lawaya or Lawai. I am a Levite, Lawaya. You see, and that means join on to Yah. Join unto the Most High, or join unto God. So, the testament of ShaMaIWaN concerning envy. The copy of the words of ShaMaIWaN. What things he spake to his sons before he died, in the 120th year of his life, in the year in which Yawasap, which is Joseph, died. For they came to visit him when he was sick, and he strengthened himself, and sat up, and kissed them, and said to them, Hear, O my children, hear ShaMaIWaN, your forefather, what things I have in my heart, in my mind. I was born of Jacob, my father, Abai, his second son, and my mother Leah called me ShaMaIWaN, because the Most High heard her prayer. I became strong exceedingly. I shrank from no deed, nor was I afraid of anything. For my heart was hard, and my mind was unmovable, and my bowels unfeeling, because valor, bravery, also has been given from the Most High to men and women, in soul and in body. And at that time I was jealous of Yawasap, Joseph, because of our father loved him. And I set my mind against him to destroy him. So he set his mind. He had his mind set against his brother to destroy his brother because of the spirit of envy, the spirit of jealousy. And these are the poisons. You see, the poisons of the serpent, of the deceiver. He try to put you against even family. So because the prince of deceit, which is Beliar, you know Shatanel, Shaton, sent forth the spirit of jealousy and blinded my mind. He darkened his mind, put him in a state of ignorance and youth, that I regarded him not as a brother, and spared not Yaakov my father, but his God, and the God, but his Yah, and the Yah of his fathers sent forth his angel, his messenger, and delivered him out of my hands. So the Most High sent Yeshua to deliver Joseph out of the hand of his wicked brethren. For when I went into Shechem to bring ointment for the flocks, and Ra'awaban to Dotam. So let's see, we'll see where Shechem and Dotam is in a minute. So for when I went into Shechem to bring ointment for the flocks, and Ra'awaban to Dotam. So let me see if I have Shechem here. Yep, Shechem's right here. It's Shakam. It's a district in northern Palestine. Also the name of a son of Hamor. So Sakam. Let's see. So he went to Shechem to bring ointment for the flocks, and Ra'awaban to Dotam. Dotam is somewhere around here. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Alright, so Dotan is over here. Shechem is right here. Sakam. So his brothers were in Dotam, and Joseph was coming from Shechem. But alright, let's continue on. Let me see where we at. So for when I went into Sakam to bring ointment for the flocks, and Ra'awaban to Dotam, where were our necessaries in our stores, Yehoiada, Judah, our brother, sold him to the Ishmaelites. So they had sold him to what they call the Ishmaelites. Now if you look right here, this is Ishmael's name right here. And Ishmael's name means God hears. So let's go ahead and plug this in right here real quick. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hallelujah. Alright. So his name is, hold on. This thing kind of throws it off a little bit. I don't know why. Let me see. Let me try to do it through another program. Pardon me, y'all. Hopefully this one works. Oh, that's why. They did something to the name. So, okay, let me see. Alright. Anyways, it's ShaMaIWaN. 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 Okay, I believe there's an I in there. Yep, I. ShaMaIWaN. And that's how you say Ishmael's name in Hebrew. And Ishmael is the father of the Ishmaelites. He's the son of Abraham. So his name means God hears. It's a combination of Shama, which means heard, which is actually part of ShaMaIWaN's name as well. ShaMaIWaN, it means heard. And El is Al, which is God. So ShaMaIWaN. Now if you don't believe me, here is Shama. Shamai. It means announces, completely, comprehends, discern, listen obediently, listen attentively, heed, heard, witness, understanding, summoned, understand, proclaim, proclaims, obey. All that means Shamai. So ShaMaIWaN, and it means Yah or Al and Alahayam will hear. And this is the name of the Ishmaelites, YaShaMaIWaN. Alright, we don't need this. Ya, Sha, Ma, Ya. Wait, Yasha, Ma, Ya. Okay, ShaMaIWaN. Lai. Okay. ShaMaIWaN. AHLI. So ShaMaIWaN. Actually, this is supposed to be a Y. Oh, there we go. Pardon me. So ShaMaIWaN, and that means Ishmaelites, which are children of ShaMaIWaN. And as you can tell, it has the name Yah in it, just like Ahaya and Yahawah and Yashaya and Yaramaya, ShaMaIWaN. So now let's continue. So, for when I went into Sakam to bring ointment for the flocks in Ra'awaban to Dotam, which is in northern Palestine, where were our necessaries in our stores? Yahawada, Judah, our brother, sold him to the ShaMaIWaN. Okay, they sold him to ShaMaIWaN, to the children of ShaMaIWaN, Ishmael. And when Ra'awaban, Reuben, came, he was grieved. He was grieved. For he wished to have restored him safe to his father. He wanted to make sure he got to Jacob safe. But I was wroth, ShaMaIWaN was wroth against Judah, Yahawada, and that he let him go away alive. So he was thinking about murdering him. So the spirit of Cain had fell upon ShaMaIWaN for a little bit. Envy. So watch out. Envy is a horrible demon. Recognize it. And for 5 months I continued wrathful against him, just being aggressive towards him. But Alayam restrained me and withheld from me all working of my hands, for my right hand was half withered for 7 days. My right hand was half withered for 7 days. My right hand was half withered for 7 days. My right hand was half withered for 7 days. My right hand was half withered for 7 days. My right hand was half withered for 7 days. You mess with the Most High people, the Most High will deal with you. And I knew, my children, that because of Yawasap, Joseph, this happened to me. And I repented and wept. I felt bad and I cried because I knew it was because I've done wrong. I felt guilty. It wasn't right of me, and this is why I testified today concerning envy. And I besought the Most High, Yeshua, that he would restore my hand unto me, in Yeshua's mighty name and through his precious words, and that I might be kept from all pollution and envy and from all folly, for I knew that I had devised an evil deed before the king, Yeshua, and Jacob, my father, on account of Yawasap, my brother, and that I envied him. So let's see something real quick. Let's see what envy is right here. So envy, a feeling of discontent and resentment aroused by and in conjunction with desire for the possessions or qualities of another. I want to be like him. I want to look like her. I want a relationship like theirs. I wish I was God. That's what Satan did, and he got thrown down. The object of such feeling, malevolence. Malevolence. To feel envy toward another person. To regard something with envy. It also means envy and jealousy are very close in meaning. Envy denotes a longing to possess something awarded to or achieved by another. To feel envy. So it says painful or resentful awareness of an advantage enjoyed by another, joined with a desire to possess the same advantage. A feeling of discontent and resentment aroused by and in conjunction with desire for the possessions or qualities of another. It also means it is an emotion which occurs when a person lacks another's superior quality, achievement, or possession, and either desires it or wishes that they had it. Wishes to take it from them. Envy means to bear a grudge towards someone due to coveting what that person has or enjoys. So thou shalt not be covetous or covet what is thy neighbor's. That means thou shalt not desire what is not yours, and you shall not envy what someone else have. You see? Because it's covetousness, desiring something. Your desire usually gets you in trouble because you desire something, and by all means and by all the costs, even your soul, you try to do it and get it. So you got to stay away from that. Hold on, pardon me. So alright, continuing on. So now we know what envy is. Now before we continue on, let's see exactly what he did do. Alright. Let me see if it's over here. Alright, let me go back over here. Alright, Genesis, Barashiat, chapter 37, verse 1. This is where we're going to start off with knowing what they did to Joseph, their brother. Yawasap's dreams. Matter of fact, let's click on Strong's right here. Boom. Let's click on KJV or KJB, King James Bible. And here we go. Make this bigger and make it a little smaller. Alright, perfect. So Yawasap's dreams. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger. So he dwelt in the land where his father was a stranger. What land? And the land of Canaan, which is, let's see how to say that in Hebrew. It's Canaan. And here it is. Canaan. It means merchant or trader. Like because the Phoenicians and the Canaanites were traders, and like they used to trade goods and things like that, and they were merchants. Alright, it also means traffic. He's also a son of Ham, which is called Canaan, and Cana is the root word it comes from. Cana means humiliated. It also means, Kanai also means to be humble, becomes humbled, done, humble, subdued, humbled, humiliated. Humiliated right here, bring down low, to obeys, into subjection, under, humble self, subdue. A primitive root properly to bend the knee, hence to humiliate, vanquish, bring down low, into subjection, under humble self, subdue, be humbled. Alright, continue on. So this is Canaan, or Canaan, Canaan. Pardon me. Let's continue on. So Jacob, our forefather, dwelt in the land of Canaan, which is the promised land. These are the generations of Jacob. Yawasap, Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Balaha, and with the sons of Zilpah, which is Zalapah. Okay, Balaha and Zalapah. And his father's wives, because he had like 4 different wives. And Yawasap Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. So he brought unto them his evil report. Before we continue on, if you look at it right here, where is that? No, it's right here. Okay, so Joseph is the son of Rakal. Benjamin and Joseph is the sons of Rachel. And Benjamin, he wasn't. I don't know if he was born at the time when Joseph got sold by his brothers to the Midianites and the Ishmaelites. But he was young. He was very young. He had no part in it. And as you know, Reuben was mad because he wanted to make sure that Joseph went back home. So 10 of them were against him. You see, yeah, man. And he's sons of Rachel. That's why he wanted to see Banyaman so bad, because, you know, that's his only true brother, blood brother. Alright, so we continue on. So he brought unto his father their evil report, because they were doing wickedly. So he went back and told his dad, like, yo, they're acting up over there, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not doing their job. They're kind of treating me bad, and you know. So now Yis-RoyAl, Jacob, loved Joseph, yes, Yawasap, more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. And he made him a coat of many colors, like a rainbow aura, a rainbow coat, a rainbow body, rainbow celestial being. That's how I like to look at it, a rainbow coat. And this reminds me of the rainbow that people explain that they see around Christ. So he had a coat of many colors. And I think that they mean many colors, which mean he was of color. You see, like he was a colored brethren. Like his skin had color, like a coat. But it also represents a rainbow aura as well, a rainbow spirit, which means psychic and in tune. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they seen that Jacob loved Yawasap more than all of them, then they hated him, so they envied. And this goes back to what ShaMaIWaN was saying. So they wanted his position. And they could not speak peaceably unto him, so they're only mean. And Yawasap dreamed a dream. He had a vision. A vision came, and he told it to his brethren. And they hated him yet the more, because he has dreams and they don't, and he remembers them and they don't, and he can interpret it and they can't. So they just, you know, kind of try to treat him crazy. And I go through that a lot. And he said unto them, hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. Like, I pray to y'all, or please guys, just listen to it real quick. Please, just listen. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field. Sheaves will be like a collection of items held or bound together, or to gather a bundle of grain or stock, whatever it may be. A bundle, a sheaf, a whole, you know, a whole stock of grain or wheat, or both. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, they were reaping the harvest. And lo, behold, my sheaf arose, his children, or him or his children, or him and his children, which I'm talking about Joseph and his 2 children, Ephraim and Manasseh. You know, whatever is his sheaf, you know, metaphorically, whatever stock or bundle he had, it arose. So his harvest arose, and also stood upright. It stood up in righteousness, which reminds me of when Yawasap, Joseph, became king well, not king, but second to king in Egypt, Mizraim. And behold, your sheaves stood round about. So their flocks or their children or their bundle of grain or harvest or whatever, it stood round about. So they stood round about him and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because he was to command them now as king or whatever. And so behold, your sheaf stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. So they obeyed his sheaf which they were standing around. And his brethren said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? So that's what they're just trying to realize that the dream mean. Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it to his brethren and said, so he was constantly having these dreams. Behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. Now the 11 stars will probably represent the 11 tribes of Israel and him making the 12th. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him. How did his father rebuke him? He said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? What is this dream or vision that you had? You do know it was just a dream, right? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the saying. So Joseph, Yawasap, sold by his brothers. Verse 12. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Sakam. And Yis-RoyAl said unto Yawasap, do not thy brethren feed the flock in Sakam? So Yaakov asked Yawasap, aren't your brothers over there in Shechem, feeding the flock? Come, and I will send thee unto them. So, his father was going to kind of send him like a little spy, pretty much, to spy on his brother, like, bring back report. And he said to him, here am I. And he said to him, go, I pray thee, see whether it be well with thy brethren. So go see if everything's good with your brothers, and well with the flocks. See if the flocks are being taken care of, like I sent them out there to do. Make sure that they're obedient. And bring me word again, and come back. Make sure you come back. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, of the valley of Hebron, which is called Kabarawan. Hebron. And Hebron is right here. Hebron is right where my mouse at. And his brothers are in Shechem. And Dothan is up there. So before they got to Shechem and went to Dothan, they came from Hebron. Alright, so let's continue on. Okay, so he sent him out of the valley of Kabarawan, and he came to Sakam. Verse 15. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, what seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks. So please tell me where they're feeding their flocks. Have you seen them? And the man said, they are departed hence. They had left here. They have left Shechem. For I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Dothan is Datan. And that's spelled Dathan. So that's Dothan. And it's a place north of Samaria, a place in Palestine, which is right here, Samaria. In Lebanon, Samaria is the whatchamacallit, the let me see, it is the capital of Ephraim, and Ephraim is the West Bank Palestine, the West Bank Palestinians. That's where Ephraim is, and Samaria is the capital of Ephraim, West Bank Palestine. Alright, so continuing on. Alright. So his brothers went to Datan. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. So they conspired, which means to be crafty. In ancient Paleo Hebrew is called nakal. Nakal. N-A-C-A-L. And it means connivish. Connivish, deceitful, conniving, crafty. To deal craftily, deceived, plotted, swindler. So they plotted against him. Beguile, which means to put on a mask. A coat, a color. You see, color of law, a mask. To deal subtly, deceiver. To defraud, act treacherously. Conspire, deceiver, deal subtly. So they were dealing subtly and plotting and planning against him. So they were getting, they were brainstorming together to slay him, to kill him, just like ShaMaIWaN said he wanted to do. And they said one to another, Behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now, therefore, and let us kill him, and cast him into some pit. And by the way, pit mean well. So let's cast him into a well. Right here, pit mean ba'ar, ba'ar, bar, ba'ar, ba'ar. And that means cistern. It means well, water, containing water, made by digging. Pit of the grave. Right here it's called fountain, pit, well, or dungeon. A dungeon, cistern, a pit, a well. So most likely I knew that they threw him into a well, because you see. So they said, and cast him into some pit, into a well, and we will say some evil beast. So now they're going to lie, and they're plotting to kill him, and they're conceiving mischief in their mind. They're conceiving this mischief in the mind again. One of the spirits of Beliar, the prince of deception. So they'll say that some evil beast had devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. And they'll say it. So they're saying, let's test his dreams and see if his dreams are really true. So they tried them, and now they've been punished. And ShaMaIWaN heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, let us not kill him. And ShaMaIWaN said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit, into the well, that is in the wilderness, that is in the desert, because they're out there once again in West Bank, Palestine, and near Samaria in Dothan. So throw him into the wilderness, and if you don't believe wilderness means desert, there you go. You see, desert, midbar. It's called Madabar, Madabar, and it does mean desert. You see. Or it says south, it means speech, wilderness, desert. Oh yeah, because the bar mean word. So continuing on. So cast him into this well that is in the wilderness, in the desert, in West Bank, Palestine, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him. So he said that so his brothers can let go of Joseph. He didn't want him to get thrown in the well either, but he want Joseph, Yawasap, to be able to go back to his father, Yaakov. And plus his father told him to come back. So, and it came to pass when Yawasap, if you don't believe me, his name right here means he increases. Yawasap. Yawasap. That's his name. And it means let him add. Let him add. Or it means he increases. The root word it comes from is Yasaf. Yasap. Yasaf. And it means to add. Again. Again, again, again. Like more, more, more. Add, add, add. Add to it more. Added. You know, any more. Another. Join. Longer. Increases. Increase. Grow. Farther. Continue. Yet more and more. Worse. Surpass. Repeated. Prolongs. Yet more. More shall be done. More. Longer. So it pretty much means to go longer, to increase, to add, to grow, to multiply. You see, so Yawasap. So you can say his name means fruitful. He increases. So now we continue on. And it came to pass, Haya, when Yawasap was come unto his brethren, that they stripped it. So now he finally got to them after they plotted all that mischief in their head and out loud, you know, silently. That they stripped Yawasap of his coat of many colors, and was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit, into the well. And the pit, the well, was empty. Why? Because there was no water in it. So they made it clear to you that it's a well. Let me just click on this real quick. Colors. Very colored. Long sleeved. Very colored. Palm or sole of the foot. Tunic. Or a long and sleeved tunic. Perhaps simply a wide one. From the original sense of the root, in other words, of many brethren, diverse colors. Let me see what this word is. To disappear, to vanish. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Pak, palm, hand. To vanish, diverse colors, very colored. Alright, I know what coat mean, but let's just click on it. Okay, for them, coat mean tunic. And in Hebrew, tunic is called katanak. 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 Hold on, let me make sure it's a K at the end. Katanak. Okay, katanak. I'll mess with that later. So a tunic, katanat. Katanat. It means garment, dress, coat, tunic. So we had a dress or a garment or a coat that was many colors, or a robe, varied colors, which remind me of the light of Yeshua. That's why he has visions, like an aura. So they stripped Yawasap out of his robe, his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a well, and the well was empty. There was no water in it. Verse 25, chapter 37 of Barashiat. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of ShaMaIWaN. So a company of ShaMaIWaN, which is the children of ShaMaIWaN. ShaMaIWaN. So a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead. Let's see if we have Gilead over here. It came from Gilead. This. Okay, let's click this. So yeah, so Gilead is called Galaid. Galaid. And it's a region in Palestine. Gilead. They said originally it was the name of a mountain. It's usually as the name of a mountain and land. Said Gilead, use of territory between the Arnon and the Jabbok, modern Belta. Also of that between the Jabbok and the Jarmuk, modern Jebel Ajalon. Also of the entire East Jordan land, occupied by Yis-RoyAl, including both the parts just named. Territory south of Jabbok. Okay, let me see. Okay, there goes the Jabbok River, and there goes Jordan River. So it's somewhere around here. That's where I believe they had taken them. So right, let's go back. So the Ishmaelites were coming from there, from Gilead, with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Mizraim, to Egypt. And Yahweh said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? So they said, come. So Judah said this, come, and let us sell him to the ShaMaIWaN, and the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, because thou shalt not kill. For he is our brother in our flesh. And his brethren were content. They were like, all right. Then they passed by Midianites, merchantmen. So the Midianites were merchantmen, and they're also children of, children of Abraham. And their name right here is Madayanai. 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 Midianite. And the original word, or the root word it comes from, is this right here, Madayan, which means Midian. Madayan. And it is the son of Abraham and Keturah. After Sarah died and Hagar died, there was Keturah. So also a descendant of Keturah in the region where they settled. Madayan. And it also means Midianite and Midian. Let's click further on, see where it will take us. Okay, in Midian, which is the name it descends from or come from as well, mean brawling or contention. And that's Madawanayam. 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 Now we click on Madon, strife, contention. Contentions, object of contention, strife, contest, a quarrel, discord. It means a couple of things. So then they are passed by Midianites, merchantmen. So at first they said they seen a pair of Ishmaelites, came from Gilead with their camels. But then now they said the Midianites, merchantmen, are passing by, and they were thinking of selling their brother anyway. And they drew and lifted up Yawasap out of the pit, out of the well, and sold Yawasap to the Ishmaelites. You see, they keep saying that these Midianites are Ishmaelites in a way. They're kind of trying to connect them. For 20 pieces of silver they sold him, and they brought Yawasap into Egypt. And ShaMaIWaN returned unto the pit, the well, and behold, Yawasap was not in the pit, and he ripped his clothes. And he returned unto his brethren and said, the child is not, like he's not here anymore. Where is he? And I, whither shall I go? He said, where shall I go? Like, where is he? So Jacob mourns Yawasap. Verse 31. And they took Yawasap's coat and killed a kid of the goats. And so they took his coat and they killed a little baby goat and dipped the coat in the blood, like how the Moors dipped their fez in the blood of the Hebrews. So they dipped this how like Yeshua's robe and garment is dipped in blood as well, the blood of the lamb. And they sent the coat of many colors, the robe of many beautiful colors, And they brought it to their father, Jacob, and said, This have we found. Know now whether it be the son's coat or no. So, know now whether it be thy son's coat or not. And he knew it, and he said, It is my son's coat. An evil beast had devoured him. Yahweh is without doubt rent in pieces. So his dad was convinced he was torn apart by a beast, just like, you know, the brothers wanted him to believe. So they lied and they deceived, which is the spirits of error. I'm excited to hear the other testimonies of the patriarchs. So when Jacob rent his clothes too, and put sackcloth upon his loins, and mourned for his son many days, and all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, For I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard. That right there must save. So Potiphar's name, I don't know if they have it in Hebrew, but we'll see. So Joseph's master during that time in Egypt, which was a good, ruler, is Pawatayapar. 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 So he was an Egyptian. So the Midianites or Ishmaelites had sold him, the Islamic people sold him to the Egyptians, the Phoenicians, Canaanite type of people. So we all know Egypt is Mizraim, in Mitzrayim in modern day Hebrew. It's northwest Africa, northwest, and its name in Hebrew is Matazarayam. 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 Upper and Lower Egypt. Matazarayam. It's alright, continuing on. So, and the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard. So let's continue on. Alright, I think this is where Judah, it names Judah's wife and stuff like that, and she begot children. We can skip this. Yeah, we can skip this. I believe these are other children of Judah. The birth of Pharez and Zara. So Joseph and Potiphar's wife, we'll read that in the testimony of Joseph, because this right now is not the video about Joseph. Okay, we'll read it from here now. So in Genesis Barashayat 42, chapter 1, Yahweh's brothers sent to Egypt. So now, when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, because there was a great famine during that time, and by this time Joseph, Yahweh was like second in command to Potiphar, because Potiphar had promoted him to a higher position because of his wise, humble, well-mannered, well-disciplined self, very meek man, very submissive and virtuous. And he had to flee for fornication as well, like how ShaMaIWaN talked about how Joseph, ran away from Potiphar's wife when she tried to seduce him and put witchcraft on him in Abu Dhabi and spells and junk, and he still didn't fall for it. So after all that happened, Joseph got promoted up. There was a great famine and stuff. Joseph had predicted it before it happened. You know, we'll talk about this in the Testament of Joseph. But after that, Joseph's brothers and stuff were, you know, affected by this famine because they lived in Canaan. So, you know, the whole land on that side, you know what I'm saying, was going through a famine. So only Egypt had food because Joseph and stuff. And this now is going to be the fulfillment of his dream. You see, and so his brothers go over there to Egypt to find corn because they heard that there's corn there and food. And there's nowhere else, so they were forced to go there. So it's funny how everything plays out just like the Most High wanted to. Hallelujah. So now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do ye look one upon another? And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. I have heard that there are corn and Matazarayam. Get you down to there, to Matazarayam, and buy for us from thence in Matazarayam, that we may live and not die. And Yawasap's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt, in Matazarayam. But Banyaman, which is the Joseph's brother and the youngest, Joseph's you know, real brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren. He stayed there with the dad because that was the last son that Jacob had with Rachel. And he really loved Rachel more than Leah in the first place. And Leah bore babies for him first. You see the first 4 children of his. But Joseph and stuff, he was made through Rachel. And I believe Rachel had died by this point as well. Yeah, I believe she died. Hold on. Yeah, by this time Isaac had died. Yep, and by this time Rachel had died. Chapter 35. So by chapter 42, after, you know, Isaac dies and Rachel dies, Rachel dies, this was the only, you know, piece of Rachel that Jacob had, Benjamin, Banyaman. But this was also Joseph's only close brother that did not put any hands on him because he was too young anyway. So Banyaman, Yawasap's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, Least peradventure mischief befall him. He said, least while he travels, something horrible happened to him, and I can't live. You know what I'm saying? I can't deal with that. And the sons of Yis-RoyAl, Jacob, came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. So the famine was in the land of Canaan, which is the promised land and the land our forefathers dwelt in as strangers. And Yawasap was the governor over the land, so he was the governor. And he it was that sold to all the people of the land. So it was Yawasap, Joseph, that was selling in Egypt to the people of the land. And Yawasap's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Yawasap saw his brethren, and he knew them. So he seen them. They didn't recognize Joseph, but Joseph realized them. Now, do you think he'll be really, really mad? You know what I'm saying? Now that he sees his brethren that had betrayed him and they were flesh and blood and it was dirty what they did, and you know it kind of would be righteous if he beat their butt right there and treat them bad. Let's see if that's how he react without mercy and compassion and grace. Let's see if that's how this wise man is. So when Yawasap saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them. He act like, you know, he didn't know him, so they won't know him. And spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan to buy food. And Yawasap knew his brethren. He knew it was them, but they knew him not. So I mean, he almost probably even looked Egyptian, you know, because he was with the Egyptians and he blended in so well. So they knew not him. And Yawasap remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them. He remembered those dreams now, and said unto them, ye are spies. To see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, my king, but to buy food are thy servants come. So he's saying, we're your servants. We came to just buy food, though. We don't want problem. So by this time, the boys had matured. And this is years later. He was, far away from his parents and all this stuff. So we are all one man's sons, Jacob. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. So he said, you came here to check out the land. And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, and the sons of one man. So they said, We are all one man's sons. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man, and the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with thy father, Benjamin, and one is not, which was Yawasap. And Yawasap said unto them, That it is that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh ye shall not go forth hence. Ye shall not leave from here, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, Benjamin. And ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you. Because he know his brethren used to lie back then, so he's testing his brothers, seeing where their heart's at. Or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies. And he put them all together into ward 3 days, into prison. And Yahweh said unto them the third day, This do and live, for I fear the Most High. If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. So if you guys are true men, leave one of your brothers here to be in prison here, while you go fetch your younger brother. So go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses. So he gave him corn to go feed, his family. But bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so, and they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul, when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. So they knew it was because what they did to Yawasap, Joseph, that this had happened to them. Because they felt guilty concerning Joseph, their brother, and that they saw the anguish of his soul, what they have done to him, when he besought them, when he went looking for them, and they would not hear, they wouldn't listen to him. And now this distress come upon them. And ShaMaIWaN answered them, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, Didn't I tell you that, do not sin against the child? And ye would not hear. Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. And luckily they did not spill his blood, or it would be. And they knew not that Yahweh understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. Oh yes, so Joseph, Yahweh did not talk to his brothers directly, or they wouldn't notice his voice. They had him use an interpreter. You see, Egyptian interpreter, or a Hebrew interpreter. And he turned himself about from them and wept, because he knew it was his brothers. And it's an intense moment. You haven't seen them in years, and and now they're different. They're actually guilty, and they're saying these things, and like, oh man, how can I ever not forgive them? You know what I'm saying? For he spake unto them by an interpreter, and he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again after he finished crying, and communed with them. He talked with them through the interpreter, and took from them ShaMaIWaN. So he took Simeon, the second brother of, the second son of Jacob, made with Leah, and bound him, put him in prison or whatever, in front of their eyes. So he, pretend he's going to put him in jail, or he does put him in jail, something along that line. So Yahweh's brothers returned to Canaan, so they returned. Then Yahweh commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, So he said to fill up their sack with corn, because you know that's my family, and restore every man's money. Give them back their money in their sack. This is another plot. And to give them provision for the way, and show them how to get back home. And thus did he unto them. So they all respected Yahweh because he was governor of Egypt. And they loaded their asses with the corn. They filled they loaded the donkeys with the corn, and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey provender in the inn, to give the donkey food while they were in a lodging place, a place where they can lodge, or where they can encamp or relax for a second. He despised his money, so he seemed to see. He looked at his money, or he accessed his money. For behold, it was in his sack's mouth. His money was in his sack. How? And he said unto his brethren, my money is restored. I didn't give him the money. I think I gave him the money, but how to get back in it? Whoa, what happened? And lo, look, it is even in my sack. It is still in my sack. And their heart failed them. They're like, oh no, we're going to jail. And they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that God hath done unto us? So they felt like they were being punished for what they did, still years later. And when they met up with Joseph again, they were afraid he might hurt them. And they came unto Jacob, their father, unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, the man who is the king of the land, they're talking about Joseph, spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, we are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is, this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the king of the country, the governor, said unto us, hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your household, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. Travel. Verse 35. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid, because they know it don't belong to them. They paid for what they get. You know, we don't believe in stealing, and if we still have the money back, we know we need to bring it back. And Jacob their father said unto them, me have ye bereaved of my children. Me have ye bereaved of my children. Which mean miscarried, or depopulated, or to kill, to slay, unfruitful, to kill. So he said, me have ye killed of my children. Yahweh is not, Joseph is gone, and ShaMaIWaN is gone, and you will take Benjamin away now? All these things are against me. So Jacob was being challenged too. Probably for lying and stuff to Isaac during the blessing between Esau and him. So all these things are against me. And ShaMaIWaN spake unto his father, saying, Slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to thee. So Reuben said, kill my 2 kids if I do not bring them back to you. You see, because Reuben was righteous at this point after everything he done. I was hoping this was before he slept with Bilhah, but I believe that it's actually after. So deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. And he said, my son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone, because he's the last left of Rachel. If mischief befall him, if he die, by the way in which ye go, then shall ye bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. So, Genesis 43:1, the return of Egypt with Benjamin. And the famine was sore in the land, and it came to pass when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, their father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. So they needed more food because everything was done and they had no choice but to go back. And Yahweh spake unto him, saying, the man did solemnly protest unto us, saying, ye shall not see my face except your brother be with you. If thou wilt send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. If you send Benjamin with us, we'll go buy food. He gave us orders. But if thou wilt not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, ye shall not see my face except your brother be with you. And Yis-RoyAl, Jacob said, wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother? Why did you let him know that you had brothers? And they said, the man asked us straightly of our state. He asked us a question. We didn't want to lie. And of our kindred, our family, saying, is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he would say, bring your brother down? And Yahweh said unto Yis-RoyAl, his father, send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and thou, and also our little ones. I will be surety, I will be debtor for him. Of my hand shalt thou require him. So Judah said, his blood will be in my hand if something happened to him, to Benjamin. If I bring him not unto thee, and set him before thee, in front of thee, then let me bear the blame forever. For except we had lingered, surely now we had returned this second time. So they returned. And their father Yis-RoyAl, Jacob, said unto them, if it must be so now, do this, take of the best fruits in the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm, and a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts and almonds, and take double money in your hand, to try to get on his good side. And the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks, carry it again in your hand, give it back to them. Peradventure it was an oversight. Take also your brother Benjamin, and arise, go again unto the man, and Allah Almighty, Al-Shaddai, give you mercy before the man, that he may send away your other brother and Benjamin, ShaMaIWaN and Benjamin. If I be bereaved, if I lose another child, of my children, I am bereaved. So if I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. He is dead. And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand, and Benjamin, and rose up and went down to Egypt and stood before Yahweh. So now we're going to see how Joseph dealt with them. And ShaMaIWaN, which is the story is all about still, this is how he dealt. He was the one taken into prison, ShaMaIWaN. So this is how he felt when we're going to get into what ShaMaIWaN testified during all this. He was shocked. But Joseph's hospitality to his brothers. So chapter 43, Genesis, verse 16. And when Yahweh saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of his house, bring these men home, and slay, and make ready. For these men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Yahweh bade. So he said, go get me some food, go slay a turkey or chicken, and get ready some food. You know what we like. And the man brought the men into Yahweh's house. And the men were afraid, because they brought into Yahweh's house. They were brought into Yahweh's house. So his 11 brothers or 10 brothers were afraid, because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time are we brought in. So they passed the test, because Joseph wanted to see if they'll bring what's not theirs back, if they'll tell the truth, and if they'll come back for ShaMaIWaN. Do they care about their brothers now? You know what I'm saying? And how much do they love their youngest brother to protect him now that they lost Joseph? So they've learned a big moral through just Joseph himself. And they're around him right now, like he said they would be in the dream. And take us for, so they said, so because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us and fall upon us, and take us for bondmen and our donkeys. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, the butler and all that stuff, the host. And they communed with him at the door of the house, and said, O sir, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food, and it came to pass when we came to the inn that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight, because we used to weigh our money, because it was gold and silver, not promised to pay promissory notes, dollars. And we have brought it again in our hand, and other money have we brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. And he said, Peace be to you, fear not. Your God and the God of your father hath given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. And he brought ShaMaIWaN out unto them. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house for the dinner, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their donkeys provender, food. And they made ready the present against Joseph came at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed themselves to him to the earth. Prophecy fulfilled. And he asked them of their welfare, and said, Is your father well, the old man of whom ye spake? Is he yet alive? And they answered, Thy servant, our father, is in good health. He is yet alive. This probably made Joseph feel very happy. And they bowed down their heads and made obeisance. They bowed down and obeyed him. And he lifted up his eyes. This is what they said they would do too, obeisance. The chief will have obeisance to his chief. So he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, Rachel, and said, Is this your younger brother, of whom ye spake unto me? And he said, Allahayam be gracious unto thee, my son. So Joseph and Benjamin probably look the same, because they have the same mom, you know what I'm saying, blood and blood, flesh of flesh, from same mom and dad. And Joseph blended in with the Egyptians. And we know how the Egyptians look, so I have an image of what these Hebrews must have looked like. And Yahweh made haste, for his bowels did yearn unto his brother. He needed, okay, let's continue. Oh, he couldn't hold it. He had to cry and stuff. His bowels did yearn upon his brother. He wanted to hug him and kiss him and embrace him. And he sought where to weep. And he entered into his chamber, into his room. He went and wept there. And he washed his face and went out and refrained himself from crying. And said, Set on bread. And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews. For that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. And they sat before him the firstborn according to his birthright, which is Ra'awaban, and the youngest according to his youth, which is Benjamin. And the men marveled one at another, and he took and sent messages unto them from before him. I'm believing that means messages, utterance, gifts. Okay, gifts. Okay, so he sent gifts unto them from in front of him. But Benjamin's gift was 5 times so much as any of theirs, and they drank and were merry with him. So, he was forgiving them. So right here, you can go ahead and read this if you want. I'll carry on. But Benjamin, they slip a silver cup into Benjamin's sack and all that stuff. That's what Joseph did. So they can make them bring Benjamin back, you see, so he can hold him kidnapped. Joseph haven't told his brothers that he's their brother yet. So Judah go and plead for Benjamin, because remember, Benjamin's blood is in Judah's hand. So Judah had to go over there and beg for him. You see, so we continue on. We'll read some of that in Joseph. And now Joseph reveals his identity in this chapter. And he cried, you see, and he was happy that he can see his brothers. So let's see right here. This is Genesis, Barashayat 45, verse 1. So Yahweh reveals his identity. Then Yahweh could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, Cause every man to go out from me. Cause every man to go out from me. Tell everyone to leave. And there stood no man with him, they all left. While Yahweh made himself known unto his brethren. So it's just him and his brothers in that place. And he wept out loud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph, Anayas Yahweh. Do my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Yahweh said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you, come here, give me a hug. And they came near, they went and gave him a hug. And he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For Allah did send me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in the which there shall neither be airing nor harvest. So 7 years. 5 plus 2. And Allah sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither. So now Joseph understood that he had to be sold from his brothers. That's what the dream was telling him. But it was Allah so he can become king in Egypt. So that means Joseph built understanding. He understands his purpose. He understood why it happened. You know, he's actually not mad about it. You know. And he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and governor of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. So now Joseph sends for his father, and you know, they reunite. He sees his father again, and you know, even the Pharaoh invites Potiphar, invites Jacob to Egypt, and they all go to Egypt. And then you know, Jacob becomes revived, because now he realizes that you know, his son's still alive. And his son Joseph had 2 kids. This is when they, you know, all went down to Egypt and stuff. You know, we were there for I don't know how long. So I'm not sure if there's any history in Egypt pertaining to that. Maybe in their hieroglyphs or something like that. You know, they'd be idol worshipping. So Jacob blesses the 2 children of Joseph after that, which is Ephraim and Manasseh. And we'll get into that a little bit later. That's in chapter 48 of Genesis. Then Jacob blesses his sons. So now if you look right here in Genesis 49 verse 6, ShaMaIWaN and Levi are brethren. The Dominican, some people say they're Dominican, but I'm not positive about that. And Levi is the Haitians, Lawaya. So ShaMaIWaN and Lawaya are brethren. The Dominicans and Haitians are brethren. They're right there next to each other. Instruments of cruelty, like voodoo, Santa Maria and voodoo, black magic, because the Levites are priests, but now they've been trained to use it the wrong way, because the Roman Catholics brought that Catholic Santa Maria junk down there to what used to be called Española, but it had another name before that, but been split into Dominican Republic and Haiti. So they're brothers, but instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. So we said, O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, my honor. So the Most High said, O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, my honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man. In their anger they killed a man. ShaMaIWaN was full of anger, and it seems like Levi had that anger in him too at that time. You see, which is the same anger that made ShaMaIWaN want to kill his brother too. So, and in their self-will they dig down the wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath. So cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Yis-RoyAl. So now that we've, got that out of the way, as we see here in Genesis 29 verse 33, and Leah conceived again. She bare a son. She had a child now, and again a third time, and said, behold, actually for the second time, Behold, the Most High, Yahweh, hath heard that I was hated, heard, ShaMaIWaN. He hath therefore given me this son, ShaMaIWaN also, and she called his name ShaMaIWaN. So now let's continue on with the testimony of ShaMaIWaN, now how he felt during all of that, and that his brother forgave him and all that. So right here. For I knew that I had devised an evil deed before the Most High in Jacob my father, on account of Yawasap my brother, and that I envied him. And now, children, take heed of the spirit of deceit and of envy, for envy ruleth over the whole mind of a man, and suffereth him, it tolerate him neither to eat, nor to drink, nor to do any good thing. It ever suggesteth to him, it's always suggesting to his subconscious mind, to destroy him, that he envieth. So it destroy him unless he destroy what he envies, or who he envies. And he that is envied ever flourisheth, and he that is being envied forever flourishes and increases, like Yawasap. Yawasap. Yasap. But he that envieth fades away. They eventually wither away and fade away. They disappear. Haters detach eventually and fall apart from this speeding car. So 2 years of days. 2 years of days. Because a day is a year. So, or 100 years. So 2 years of days I afflicted my soul. So for 2 years I afflicted my soul with fasting and the fear of the Savior. And I learned that deliverance from envy cometh by the fear of Allah Hayam, to fear to do wrong to His creation, the fear to envy what He gives to others, and to be content with what He gives us, fearing to not be content. If a man flee to the King, to the Savior, and by the way, as you can tell, the day of affliction is a day of fasting. Afflict means to fast, to starve the demons and stuff, to not crave, to not fulfill the cravings and the thirst and the hunger. You see, to starve it, to set fire upon those devils. So if a man flee to the King, Yeshua, the evil spirit runneth, the evil spirit of Beliar, of the 7 spirits of error, runneth away from him, it flees. If you resist evil, evil shall flee away from you. And his mind, his thoughts and imagination becometh easy. You start to have more positive visions in the mind. And henceforward, from here forward, he sympathizeth with him whom he envied. You start to respect and love the person that he envied, and you know, just hold them in good esteem. And condemneth not those who love him, and so ceaseth from his envy. So now he don't continue to condemn and talk bad about those who love him. And my father asked concerning me. Jacob asked concerning him, because he saw that I was sad. He's like, why are you sad, my son? And I said, I am pained in my liver. Because remember, that's where the spirit of fighting is at. The liver and gall. For I mourned more than they all, because I was guilty of the selling of Yawasap. And when we went down into Egypt, and he bound me as a spy, I knew that I was suffering justly, and I grieved not. So when he did go down into Egypt, and they bound him as a spy, they put him in prison, he knew that he was suffering justly. He knew that that was what he deserved, because it was ShaMaIWaN that was trying to kill him. And he grieved not. So he didn't cry or nothing. He knew he deserved it. So that's a way to accept your punishment and show a sign that you repent, you feel bad about what you did. So now Joseph was a good man and had the spirit of Allah Hayam within him. Rawak Allah Hayam. Compassionate and pitiful, merciful and compassionate. He bore not malice against me. He even cried because he loved them and missed them so much. The missing them and loving them so much, and wanting to see his father and his younger brother. Just, you know, that reason conquered the passion and grudge and all that other stuff. He actually wanted to show him the great achievement he accomplished while it happened. You know, to actually probably thank him, like, thank you for selling me, man. Like, at first I was pissed off, I was mad, but after a while I realized, man, this was, you know, a good move. I have saved many lives and many souls, and look at me now, and I'm in a position where I can save our family. I'm a ruler of Egypt, pretty much. You know, like, how can that happen easily? A Hebrew ruling Egypt like Moses almost did through Pharaoh Ramses. So continue on. So he bore not malice against me. Nay, he loved me even as the rest of his brothers. He loved him just like every one of his brothers. So take heed, listen therefore, my brethren, of all jealousy and envy, and walk in singleness of soul, and with good heart, good clean mind, sound and clear. Cleansed, consecrated, and clean. Like a clean cup filled with clean water. Clean out the inside of the cup, clean up the outside of the cup, and fill up that good cup with water, with good water. Keeping in mind the brother of your father, that Allah may give to you also grace and glory, and blessing upon your heads, even as you saw in him. All his days he reproached us or offended us not concerning this thing, but loved us as his own soul, and beyond his own sons. And he glorified us, and gave riches in cattle and fruits freely to us all. Do ye then also do the same thing, my beloved children, his descendants. Love each one of his brother with a good heart, and remove from you the spirit of envy, of Beliar. For this maketh savage the soul, and destroyeth the body. It turneth his purposes into anger and war, and stirreth up unto blood. War, anger, blood. And leadeth the mind into frenzy, spazzing out. And tolereth not prudence to act in men. Moreover, it taketh away sleep. You can't sleep at night. And causeth tumult to the soul, and trembling to the body. For even in sleep some malicious jealousy, deluding him, full of delusion in the imagination, gnarreth at his soul, yum, 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 eating at him visually like Jezebel. And with wicked spirits disturbeth it, and causeth the body to be troubled. It causeth the body to be troubled, but it started in that delusive imagination of jealousy and envy. And the mind to awake from sleep in confusion. And as though having a wicked and poisonous spirit, so appeareth it to men. So therefore was Yawasap fair in appearance. He was light, the same color as the Egyptians. Not too dark, not too light. And goodly to look upon. He was handsome. Because there dwelt not in him any wickedness. So the truth kept him looking young, beautiful, and handsome. For in the trouble of the spirit, the face declareth it. Because when you are troubled, when you are angry, when you are sorrowful, when you are in grief, your face show it. So the spirit, the countenance, and the condition of the face declares it. It shows it. And now, my children, make your hearts and mind good before the King, Yis-RoyAl, and your ways straight, upright before men. And ye shall find grace before Allah and men in front of them. And take heed not to commit fornication, for fornication is mother of all evils, separating from Allah and bringing near to Beliar, the prince of deception, the prince of air. For I have seen it inscribed in the writing of Kanawak, Enoch, that your son shall with you be corrupted in fornication, and shall do wrong against Levi, Laoya, with the sword. So ShaMaIWaN, which most people think is the Dominicans, shall do wrong against Levi, their brother, with the sword. And cursed be ye for your wrath, because it was fierce, very fierce. But they shall not prevail against Laoya, Levi, the Haitians. For he shall wage the war of the Most High. So Levi is going to wage the war of the Most High, like he did to the four kingdoms of England, when there was a Haitian revolution, where the first Haitians, or Haitians, which mean Yah is with us, to defeat any kingdom of Europe and to declare our independence and build our first and only republic. You see, no other person throughout our tribe done that yet in after the slavery time. And so Lawaya shall wage the war of the King Yis-RoyAl, and shall conquer all your hosts. And there shall be a few divided in Lawaya and Judah. Lawaya is Mary and Judah is Joseph. They mated and gave birth to Christ, which is Levite and Judite. And there shall be none of you for sovereignty, even as also my father Jacob prophesies in his blessings. So in his blessings it shall be Levi and Judah mainly. Everyone else mainly might fall off, but there's still salvation for the 144,000, the 12 tribes. And we all are bodies to the tree of Christ, or body parts to the tree of Christ. So before I have foretold you all things, that I may be clear from the sin of your souls. So I told you all things. My hand is clean now. You know, I learned my lesson. I've been there, done that, never again. So now if you remove from you your envy, remove envy from you, wanting what others have, and wanting to be in the status and position of others. And remove all your stiff-neckedness, all your hard-headedness, and listen. As a rose shall my bones flourish in Yis-RoyAl, and as a lily my flesh in Jacob. And my odor shall be as the odor of Lebanus. And as cedars shall holy ones be multiplied from me forever, and their branches shall stretch afar off. Then shall perish the seed of Canaan, and a remnant shall not be to Amalek, and all the Cappadocians shall perish, and all the Hittites, which are the Turkish people, shall be utterly destroyed. Then shall fail the land of Ham, the Hamites, Egyptians, Canaanites, Philistines, Phoenicians, Babylonians, all of them, and Japhite. And well, Japhite is not Hamite, but yeah, the Japhites as well. And every people shall perish. Then shall all the earth rest from trouble, and all the world under heaven from war. Then shall Shem be glorified, because the King, Alahayam, Creator, the Mighty One of Yis-RoyAl, shall appear upon earth as man, and saved by him Adam. Then shall all the spirits of deceit be given to be trampled underfoot, and men shall rule over the wicked spirits of Beliar. Then will I arise in joy, resurrect, and will bless the Most High because of his marvelous works. Because Alahayam hath taken a body and eaten with men and saved men. God had taken a body and eaten with men and saved men. Walked with men, preached to men in the flesh, even faced temptation just like men, and overcame them all. And now, my children, obey Lawya, the priest, the Levite, and in Judah, Yahweh, shall ye be redeemed. And be not lifted up against these two tribes, for from them shall arise to you the salvation of Yah, which is Yeshua. Yeshua means salvation of Yah. Yeshua shall arise to you, Yeshua. For the king or savior shall raise up from Lawaya, as it were, a priest, which is Yeshua. And from Judah, as it were, a king. So the kinghood and the priesthood come from Levite and Judah, from Mary and Joseph. And from Judah, as it were, a king. Alahayam and a man, God and a man, you see? So shall he save, Yeshua, all the Gentiles and the race of Yis-RoyAl. Therefore I command you all things, in order that ye also may command your children, that they may observe them throughout their generations, like I am doing today. And ShaMaIWaN made an end of commanding his sons, and slept with his fathers, being 120 years old. And they laid him in a coffin of incorruptible wood, to take up his bones to Hebron, the same place where all his forefathers were buried, around Judea. And they carried them up in a war of the Egyptians secretly. So they carried them up in a war of the Egyptians secretly. For the bones of Yawasap, the Egyptians guarded in the treasure house of the palace. So the Egyptians, the Hamites, you see, the Arabians and stuff like that, are guarding it with guns and weapons right now, and we can't get into it. It's in the treasure house of the palace, and it's a palace. For the sorcerers, the demons, the wicked, the wizards, told them that at the departure of the bones of Yawasap, there shall be throughout the whole of Egypt darkness and gloom. So once Joseph's bone removed, there shall, if they remove it, the Egyptians, there shall be a darkness and gloom, a curse upon Mizraim, Egypt, and they did it. So there's a curse on him, definitely, for many reasons. And an exceeding great plague to the Egyptians, exceedingly great, so that even with a lamp a man should not recognize his brother, because they're going to turn black, very dark. And the sons of ShaMaIWaN bewailed their father according to the law of mourning, about 40 days, 42 days. And they were in Egypt, Mizraim, until the day of their departure from Egypt by the hand of Moses. Because after Potiphar had died, which was a good president, or whatever happened to him, the next Pharaoh that came in, he was evil and brutal, and that's when the 450 years of slavery had begun, or the 400 years of slavery in Egypt. You see, and we're brought into Egypt again now in modern day Babylon, which is America. So now, before we finish this off, there's one more thing I want to read. All right, so this right here connects to what Levi and ShaMaIWaN did that was so evil. So in Genesis chapter 34, the defiling of Dinah, which is one of their sisters, it's a daughter of Jacob. Her name is Diana, and it means justice. It comes from the word din, which means Dayan, Dayan, like Dan, judgment, justice, lawsuit, case, right. So her name is a descendant of justice, Diana. So when Diana, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. She went to go see the other women of the land, to probably make friends. And when Sakam, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, so Hamor in Shechem is a Hivite, Arabian, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her, because he wasn't supposed to be laying with no dang Hivite, and he possibly raped her, possibly, or it's a defilement because we're not supposed to mix with them, you see, because they're heathens and Gentiles, they're not of our family, they're non-Hebrew. So when his soul clave unto Dinah, so they became one, he loved her, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, he lust for her, and spake kindly unto the damsel, he flattered her and subdued her with words. And Sakam, son of Hamor, spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel, this beautiful woman, to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled, he had slept with Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. So he waited until his kids came, and then he let it out. And Hamor, the father of Sakam, went out unto Jacob to commune with him, to speak with him, like, hey, how about giving us your daughter into marriage? And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it. They heard it. And the men were grieved. They were upset. Like, wait, what the heck? You transgressed the law. Man, nope, we gotta, avenge our children, our sister, which is called Zeal. And they were very wroth, because he hath wrought folly in Yis-RoyAl, in lying with Jacob's daughter, with the children of Israel, crossbreed, which thing ought not to be done, intermarriage, interracial marriage. And Hamor communed with them, saying, The soul of my son Sakam longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. And ye shall dwell with us, so to mix with them. And the land shall be before you, in front of you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and get your possessions therein. And Sakam said unto her father, and unto her brethren, unto the 12 tribes of Israel, and the father of the 12 tribes, Let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me I will give. Like, I'll do anything for her. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me. So you can't ask me too much gifts. Ask me whatever you want, how much you want. You can't buy salvation. But give me the damsel to wife, so the revenge of Dinah's brothers. So, and the sons of Jacob answered Shechem. So the brothers answered him. And Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Diana, their sister. And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach or offense unto us. But in this will we consent unto you. This is what we'll consent to, will tell you. If ye be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. That's what they said deceitfully. Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people, the Hivites and the Israelites. It doesn't work. But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter, and we will be gone. So they had to peel the foreskin off their penis. And their words pleased Hamor. Like, oh, that's it? And Shechem, Hamor's son. So it pleased them both. And the young man deferred not to do the thing, so he went to do it, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his son came unto the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein. For the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us for to dwell with us, to be one people. If every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised, shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Won't our possession go from Israel to them? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearken all that went out of the gate of his city. And every male was circumcised, and that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, because it hurt and is sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, ShaMaIWaN and Lawaya, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly and with zeal, and slew all the males. So they, took vengeance into their own hand. Too much zeal. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Diana out of Shechem's house, and went out. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain, and spoiled the city. They ruined and destroyed the city, and the prince and his king, his dad, because they had defiled their sister. They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field, and all their wealth, and all their little ones, and their wives took they captive, and spoiled even all that was in the house. They ruined everything. And Jacob said to ShaMaIWaN and Lawaya, ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land. And this is why Levi didn't get the promise either, nor ShaMaIWaN or Rehoboam. It went to Judah. So you have made me stink, you have ruined my reputation among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites. So the Hivites are Canaanites, and the Perizzites. So they're part of the Perizzites as well. And I, being few in number, because we weren't as big as them, but the Most High always gave us victory. They shall gather themselves together against me, like they're doing right now in the end days, and slay me. They will slay Jacob, Yis-RoyAl. They're the people against us today. And I shall be destroyed. Yis-RoyAl shall be destroyed. I and my house, but the Most High shall have mercy upon us, like he promised. And they said, should he deal with our sister as with an harlot? Like, why was he dealing with our sister like a whore? You know what I'm saying? And then after that, that's when that pretty much ends. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope this was beneficial. May the Most High bless your soul and bless your heart and keep you in the light and the truth. May our Savior, Yeshua, Yeshai, always be with you all. And you know, let's do this, man. We got this. Just stay strong. Let's persevere. Let's endure. Let's forbear and let's long suffer. All praise to the Most High. I'll see you y'all in part 3. We'll be going into the testimony of, I believe, Lawaya of Levi. So we won't. Okay, let me see. Yup. So it'll be the testament of Levi concerning the priesthood and arrogance. So remember, don't go against us Levites. It's important that you remember that. Good luck.